also played with him a lot. He goes about his business very quietly, and he's always accumulating. Whether you notice him or otherwise, he's always in the mix, whether it's in the background or the foreground.
Yeah, somehow you don't think he's a big feature, but you just next thing you know, he's the chip leader.
100%. Anyway, so Naidu puts the hood on. Maybe that'll change his form a little bit. So Lotring, will he come in limping again? He does come in limping.
8-9 of clubs now for Edgar. He's going to raise it up to 1,000.
Alright, that's the right play. This is Darren Kramer's favourite hand.
King 5 off. It's going to go into the muck. Over to Kramer.
Kramer now, he picks up.
Again.
Pair of queens. This Kramer's got some form here, hasn't he?
Now, what does he do? Is he going to try and trap Edgar? Is he going to re-raise now?
He does announce raise straight away.
I think he's in the blinds here, Dave. And I like this play because out of position, you really don't want to get stuck. Ace or a king comes on the board. You just never know where you stand.
And as you mentioned before against him, Ryan, one thing about Kramer, you never know if he's just trying to outplay you. He's just so good and so aggressive that you could think to yourself, well, my 8-9 of clubs, this guy, he's re-raising me. Is he just trying to get position back? Is he looking to pull the pot away from me? What is he looking to do? How's that board?
Oh my goodness! And Kramer has the queen of clubs. This is wow.
Wow. Kramer
is a monster pot.
Kramer moved all in, Ryan, and Antezana snapped him off. Wow.
Ace on the turn's no help. Kramer now needs a club and a club only.
Not the 6 of clubs.
Yeah, not the 6 of clubs.
Wow. 6 of clubs for the straight flush. How are you looking?
So sick.
Oh my, make the lights pink or something.
That is unbelievable. Edgar Antezana makes a straight flush when Kramer had the queen of clubs. That is an amazing hand, Dave. That doesn't happen very often. And if you thought Antezana had some chips before, he's really going to have some chips now. But let's take a break from all this crazy action. So now you can see Edgar Antezana has got a huge chip stack.
Well, Ryan, now if you just look at that hand again,
you must take comfort in that.
You can see Danny K's done his civic duty.
No matter how Kramer played that hand, if the money went in on the flop, pre-flop or post-flop, with a queen of clubs in his hand and a pair over the board, the result was pretty much the same.
Yeah, I think it was all going in at some point, so...
But Antezana now, Ryan, I just want to make a point. The last time a guy was making straight flushes like Edgar just did was Evan van Niekerk. And he went on to win it. So there just shows you, if you are making straight flushes, it means you've got a bit of form. And if you've got a bit of form over 2 or 3 days...
Well, let me tell you, Dave, my opinion is this, is that if I'm going to start making straight flushes, I want to make them towards the end of day 2.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to make them right now in the rebar period. Well, I'll take them whenever I can get them,
but it does, it just goes to show that you are, you maybe are in a zone and you are picking up a few hands, which is what you need.
Yeah, it does help. When I won the Gold Reef City tournaments, I made quad nines twice. I made quads twice in the rebar period. Yeah, I didn't win big pots with them, but like you said, my form was pretty good.
100%. Anyway, now it's Robertson with a raise with the queens and Martinovic with king, queen, and suited. He'll never let go of that hand. And here comes the queen. Well, now Robertson spikes the case for 3 queens. Martinovic already looking at his chips. And little ropey 1200. Martinovic makes the loose call. Robertson trying to trap the little blue whale, reel him in, let him not go.
On that board, I like Neville Robertson's bet. I think you have to bet. There's 2 hearts. There's obviously the hands like 10 jack that could be calling you, the possible straight draws. Now there's 2 flush draws.
Well, now does he believe that this guy's got the ace? Because if he's got the ace, he might get all the money here.
Yeah, if he's got the ace, he's going to get all the money.
He looks over at his opponent. How do I get this Marlin into the boat? I don't want to let this out go.
I don't think Neville's done a double rebar, so I think he's only got, looks to be like about 3,000 there or so. 3,500
Do I move in now? Will I get called? What doesn't look too suspicious? If I only bet 3,000, does it look suspicious?
Well, he does have some white chips there, so he obviously actually has a bit more than I thought.
How do I bait this like now? Yeah, 2,800. So he's doing his best to value the man in here. Does Ilya see through it? Does Ilya see that this is a trappy bet? He doesn't. He looks like he wants to make the call.
So I'll give anybody who ever plays against Ilya some advice, is that if you want Ilya to call, don't make it too expensive. Because he is quite stubborn, and if you make it quite cheap, he'll keep on coming.
Well, it looks like he's coming along here. Question is, Verhart arrives on the river. Will Ilya represent like he did against Kramer earlier? There it is. And look at Neville's face. Do you see Neville's face, Ryan?
Ilya, back to here. Check.
I can do nothing.
Oh, well, Ilya checked first. Okay.
Good.
I don't know if it's good.
It is good.
It's a straight draw. It's a.
Okay, so we're back to the all-in action in the outer room, in the main poker room. Pair of fours for Adams against Spanu, who's all in with King Jack of Hearts. These players I don't know too well, Ryan, but they're in a race.
Well, King Jack against fours.
10-10 deuce, so Adams still holds on. Still a king or a jack, running hard, something, an ace, now the queen as well.
Any ace, any king, any jack.
And any queen to make the straight.
Spanu manages to win the hand with a running straight. And Adams, who had a pair of fours and got it all in.
Well, he's got Robert K to his immediate right, Ryan. That can't be too good for the table. One thing about Robert, he can move a few chips around if he wants to.
Well, the good news is that he's got position on Robert K. So
right, so it's Lifman on his feet again. We saw Lifman take Andre Johnston's chips a little earlier with queens, eights full of queens. Now Lifman's all in with just a 10-5 against, is it Jared Solomon with King 5, Jared Solomon. Lifman 10-5. This is interesting.
as you could say, they're all in blind here. these guys must be getting close to the end of the rebar period, and they're just gambling.
Right, so they just looking to pick up chips as quick as they can. Cards don't count.
Solomon moved in blind and Lifman called blind, and now when they turn over the cards, Lifman realizes what bad shape he's in. You're hoping not to be dominated by 10-5.
Well, Lifman's got about 100,000 rand in biscuits there, Ryan, so I don't think he's too concerned. Right, so it's the King 5, which is dominating the 10-5, Ryan.
not the kind of hand we used to commentating on.
Proficient poker here being played by the likes of Jared Solomon, one of the premier players, and the pair's the king.
And so now Lifman is almost drawing dead, except
now
for
the jack.
Ooh, a
Just
jack.
the jack. Shouting for the jack. Jack, yo, baby! Wow. Lifman goes running straight. 10-5 beats King 5.
We flopped the king.
And Lifman climbs on the table, Ron. Lifman climbed on the table to grab
get the
pot.
chips.
Poker etiquette still has to get to Swaziland. We're finding our way here.
Wow. That was exciting stuff, I'm sure.
I'm climbing on the table next time. I swear to it, I am.
A lot of entertaining stuff for everybody standing around watching, except for Jared.
Jared's got a smile, but he doesn't look like he's awfully happy. How's those red biscuits, Ryan? 5K a pop.
So